All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we are going to be in the 147-pound division talking about some bad news about a fight that I really want to see, which is the Terence Crawford versus Jaron Ennis fight, which a big-time trainer says Terence Crawford is not going to take. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we're going to talk about Terence Crawford, Jaron Ennis, and a mega fight that could be taking place provided some things come to fruition. Unfortunately, however, there is a major trainer out there that says that fight will not happen. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, excuse me, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter or a new subscriber, thank you guys so much for your continued support, man. It really, really does mean a lot, man. This particular video, let me say what's up to my man, Subjugated Truth, who is one of the best subscribers we have on the channel, with the exception that he's a Detroit Lions fan. I won't hold that against you for too long. I do hold it against you, but still, thank you, brother, for all your support. Thank you for coming by the live streams. Really does mean a lot, man. And thank you to everybody else that comes by the live streams that we do every morning, supports in the super chat, supports in the Cash App, supports by hitting the thumbs up button and sharing the video. And thank you to everybody on videos like this that support in the super thanks. It really is how channels like mine are able to continue to do the content. So it's very important and greatly appreciated. And if not that, like I said, hit that like button, share the video. All right, so Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford were supposed to fight last year. The fight fell apart in historic fashion, in my opinion, because never before that I have seen was there a more blatant duck. Never before did I see such a blatant duck transpire right in front of our eyes, with guys that both said that they wanted the fight, right? However, unfortunately, Terence Crawford ghosted Errol Spence Jr., went to go fight David Avanesyan on BLK Prime. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. Sorry about that. Winds up fighting David Avanesyan over on BLK Prime and knocks out David Avanesyan. Got some type of issue with the gloves, but doesn't look like that's going to go anywhere. And now we're past it and looking at, okay, what are these guys going to do next? Now, if you're either a member of this channel or somebody that supports the channel, watches, and we talk about boxing on a regular basis, you know that what I want to have next is the fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman and Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis, because in my opinion, those are the top welterweights in the division, with the exception of maybe Virgil Ortiz being ahead of Keith Thurman. But Virgil Ortiz already has a fight out there with Amanda Stanionis, so those guys are over there doing their thing. But other than Virgil Ortiz, I believe that those four guys are the top welterweights at this time. Obviously, because Errol and Terence are holding all the belts, and Virgil and Keith Thurman is a former unified champion in the divisions. And I don't think that there's anybody else in that. I don't think that there's any former welterweight champions that are even fighting in that division, with the exception of Jamal James, who had the WBA regular title. But, you know, like I'm saying, I'm not counting those regular titles. So I don't think there's anybody other than Keith Thurman that at any point in time was a champion in that division, other than Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. So to me, those are the top four guys. We have Jaron Ennis, who's going to be fighting this weekend on the undercard of Gervonta Davis and Hector Garcia in a fight against a guy named Kareem. Not going to try to murder his name on this video, but a Ukrainian fighter that pretty much everybody expects Jaron Ennis to have his way with, and more than likely get him out of there. So just assuming that is true, and we're able to, he's able to get past that, then the question is, what is Terence Crawford going to do in his next fight? Now, Terence has said that he wants to fight 3 times this year. Right now, if he wants to fight three times this year, that means 2 of those fights are not going to be against Errol Spence Jr. Because Errol has a mandatory fight that everybody is believing is going to be in April, based on some things that he said on his Twitter feed. And after that, you have another mandatory due for him with the winner of Virgil Ortiz and Amanda Stanionis, provided that that Stanionis wins the fight. If Virgil Ortiz wins the fight, I'm not so sure that Oscar De La Hoya and those guys are going to put him in there with Errol. I just have a lot of, got a lot of qualms about what those guys do over there. But anyway, the Terence Crawford versus Jaron Ennis is the fight that would be available for him, because Jaron would not have, first of all, he doesn't have mandatories as the interim champion, and that I know of. And second of all, he's probably not going to get that Errol Spence Jr. fight to the next year. But in an interview, Stephen Breadman Edwards was very clear that he does not believe that Jaron Ennis is going to get a fight with either Errol Spence Jr. or Terence Crawford in the foreseeable future. And his rationale is that those guys are not going to say, okay, hey, man, let me, for a lot less money than I would have gotten, fighting a bigger name guy, let me pretty much just, get in there and fight a guy that I have a very good chance of losing. And that applies to Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford as well, right? According to Steve Breadman Edwards. And I think, more than likely, he's right, with the only possible exception being that because BLK Prime, if what they're saying about the money that they're offering is true, if they're really offering that type of money, like, I still do not believe anybody's $6 million for David Avenation. I'm sorry. I don't believe the $10 million for Terence Crawford or the $6 million. However, if he wound up, after everything is said, Terence Crawford wound up getting 5, and you could give Jaron Ennis 1. Jaron Ennis for the WBO belt for $1 million will probably take that fight. And he already said that he would be willing to go over to BLK Prime and fight on that, and had the ability to fight on that network. I certainly hope that is something that Terence Crawford would do. But however, when if you recall, when Terence Crawford had been interviewed shortly after he pulled out of the Errol Spence Jr. fight, asking about why he didn't fight Jaron Ennis or somebody that was higher ranked than David Avenation, he said, well, those names never came up. Well, Jaron Ennis has let his name come up, and I don't know what Terence Crawford is going to be able to do that is really going to kind of get him out of the funk that the fans have him in since he turned that fight down. But Jaron Ennis would be the perfect one. But however, Stephen Breadman Edwards said probably not going to happen. I have a suspicion that a lot of the people in my comment sections that talk about it are right, that it won't happen, but cannot stop a brother from dreaming and wanting it to take place, because honestly, man, I think him fighting Jaron Ennis is the most likely route that we will get to getting an undisputed champion in the welterweight division. However, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.